Okay, first of all, we got to try and keep a straight face. Okay?
Oh, that's really hard around
So
here.
this is going to be really good. But we have exciting news, everybody. And guess what? It's because we made this.
We did not.
We
yes,
did.
we did. Yes, we
Yay! All right, so who do I have with me here? Well, of course, I have Maria Pricetta and my partner in crime, and also our other partner in crime. We have Timothy Webb here. And we are at Gypsy Market Muse, which of course is our favorite.
Yes, it is.
Our favorite, I don't even want to say store, it's our favorite treasure.
I think
I like that. Treasure's a good word.
Favorite
Excellent.
treasure. So here's what happened. Actually, I'm going to let you tell the story in terms of how we got involved with this great charity event and making this.
Okay, well, we received an email from the Home Shows TO, and they asked if we were willing to participate in an upcycle challenge.
There's the word, upcycle. Love that. Upcycle.
So I thought,
Okay.
yeah, I could do it by myself. But since we've been working on so many things together, I thought, you know what, this would be a great thing for Erin McCoy and Maria Pricetta to collaborate. And as we were coming through Gravenhurst, you introduced me to the Gypsy Market Muse, and that's
My
where the
boyfriend's.
creative mind came. And then we just kind of started to get inspired here. And I knew it was a challenge I wanted to do, but it was taking it to the next level. And so working with the guys here, they allowed us to use their shop.
Thank goodness.
So their tools,
Yeah.
which we so needed.
Yeah. And their talents.
And their talents.
Yeah.
And this beautiful piece from a standard dining room table, we've got this.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So you went to a restore.
Correct.
And part of the challenge is we had to find a piece of furniture, and it's to turn it into whatever you want. Make it your own. Make it something exceptional, right? And there's a voting process that's going to happen.
Correct.
And of course, it's going to be auctioned off for charity. And the charity is?
Habitat for Humanity.
There you go.
GTA.
Fantastic. So great cause. So of course, anything charity, we're all over, right? We do our part.
Absolutely.
So Maria, you went to the restore, and a lot of people forget that there's many other places where you can find furniture. Tim, you do this all the time, whether you go to
Absolutely.
antique, you go to places, state sales. I mean, you have so many places where you find your great finds. But Maria, we were to go to the restore, which you took on, and you
Yes.
found this incredible table, which we will show before pictures of.
And believe it or not, I went to multiple.
Okay.
And I was really looking for something that had a uniqueness
All right.
to it. And yes, we did find it at a restore, and it's amazing how many beautiful pieces are actually
So you
there.
could see that. And this particular one just spoke to you.
It did.
And you sent pictures to me and said, I found our table. And of course, right away I went, okay, that's it. Perfect. So the next thing is, okay, we got to find a location to be able to work on this thing. And we are quite a distance away from one another.
Yes.
So we found, of course, the best place, because I happen to have a little history here, and that is at the Gypsy Market Muse. And Tim, you were so gracious because you have the best workshop ever downstairs.
And I'll welcome any opportunity to have you come into the store,
See?
Erin, of course.
There we go. So, of course, we brought the table. We were shooting in the area anyways, and we brought the table downstairs, and lo and behold, this is when the magic happened. So, first started with the two of you. Trouble times 10. So the two of you were going to turn this into something. I
Right.
was the end where I'm going to help finish it. So talk about the two of you. One, you had the table downstairs. How did that process work?
Well, we had the table downstairs, and through the time that it had been sitting downstairs, we knew that there were some areas that were very difficult to repair.
So it was hurting.
It was hurting.
Okay.
We were also given an additional challenge where we were given a mystery box. And the mystery box had some colors in there that really didn't lend itself to a full-size table. So we
had to use these products no matter what.
To use these products.
Okay.
Not all of them, but as many of them
Okay.
as we could.
All right.
And believe it or not, I think we've used every single one in here.
Yes!
Like, it's just unbelievable.
Extra votes right there.
So within choosing the mystery box,
Yeah.
the table itself, when I came in, I had some ideas, and I was actually creating two tables. And then in speaking with Tim, we kind of went to that next step, and we talked about, and Tim, I said, you know, we need to use all the pieces, And Tim started doodling, and
And the smoke comes out of
What
his
I
ears,
do,
and he
right.
goes into a trance.
The cogs start turning,
and the
and
doodling and the drawing, and we all stared looking. And then as we came up with it, he encouraged me to lift it up, to go more in height versus doing 2 separate tables. It was a fun process.
And you got to use the power tools. Just saying. I had to use the elbow grease here,
I
but you.
and we have lots of photographs to prove it too.
I came in with a white shirt, and I did not leave with so much of a white shirt at the end of the process, but it really...
Occupational hazard,
That's
Maria.
right, part
I'm
of
sorry,
it.
it's a part of it. Yeah.
So Tim, why don't you talk to a little bit? So I mean, this is something you do all the time, and so here we are. We're kind of throwing in saying we would love your help, not just your space, but you were so involved, and we
Right.
thank you for that. I mean, it's important for people to realize it's so empowering to share with one another. This is the thing, everybody. I don't want to have to say I do it all myself. Can I do it all myself? Sure. Can you? Sure. Can you? Sure.
Absolutely not.
I have way more fun doing it with the 2 of you. Just saying. So when we show up and say, okay, here's what's going on, and you know, you're willing to kind of collaborate with us here.
right.
You jumped in, and when you saw the table, you know, Maria was very gracious, and she always is, saying it was hurting a little bit.
Yes, yes.
Okay, tell me what you really thought of it.
Well, the key point for me was when Maria came in, as you both did, and said, we have this upcycling challenge. Those are 2 of my favorite words. You know, upcycling and challenge. Generally, you wouldn't think that they go well together, but when you think about it, that's the best way to approach an upcycling thing, is how do we turn it into something that it wasn't before?
Right.
Anyone could find a nice table that had interesting details, as you did, that was taken apart and was hurting, and put it back to be a nice table again.
We could have just painted it.
You could have just painted
left it as is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what you're left with is another nice table.
Right.
Why don't we turn it into a real challenge and reimagine it, restructure it,
Repurpose it.
Repurpose it, the word that keeps coming back. And so that's when we brought out the doodle pad and started doing the papers, because it was already in pieces. When you brought it from Habitat Restore to my shop, it was in pieces. And once something is in pieces, you look at it in an entirely different way.
Very good
And
point.
so all of a sudden we're scattering these pieces around, and we're
It's like a
positioning
puzzle.
them. It's Tetris, essentially, you know, for the brain. And so you're looking at this, or more for the eyes than for the brain,
Yeah.
because we're seeing where else it could go back together. And that's when I would see things like, you know, we'd take a look at the legs, which are beautiful, but, you know, why don't we just make them half? And so there's a little bit half down here, a half up there, move the little details around, and like you said, make it high, and instead of making it broad, think what else it could be. If it's not going to be a table, it can be a vanity. If it's not a vanity, it's a school desk. If it's not a school desk, it's a hall tree credenza.
Wow.
There's so many things that this could turn into, and so you just take the challenge and you run with it.
Well, the 2 of you rocked it, let me tell you, because when I came then to do the finishing part, I was like, I couldn't believe it. And Maria had sent me a teaser photo, but honestly, I was blown away. I just thought, this is so crazy fantastic. And then when I come down, because now it's my turn, we got to finish it. This was the opportunity to work with the different paints, work with the techniques, which again, Tim, you truly helped to draw out. You just said run with it, but here's kind of what you're going for. It's, you wanted an old piece of furniture to still feel old.
Right.
You want to give it that consideration. I learned so much because I thought, well, you know, you kind of painted this way, but you explained, but where do you use it more?
Yeah.
When your foot's sitting at the bottom, where would you get the wear and tear? I never thought of things like that. So I was here, next thing you know, it's hours later because I didn't want to go.
Right.
I was just having so much fun. It was like Zen moment, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're in this crazy world, and I thought this is the most relaxing, therapeutic
Right.
thing ever. That I want to do this over and over again. I mean, it was so much fun with the 2 of you, but just for people to consider, what a great way to just spend time
It
where
is.
I actually was in the moment. I wasn't thinking about anything else, I have to tell you. I was focusing on this.
Yep.
So that's healthy as far as I'm concerned.
It really is.
Yeah.
It totally
So-
removes you removes you away from everything else that's going on in your world, because you're focusing on something that you normally wouldn't focus on. Your brain,
Yeah.
your eyes, your hands, everything. Your full tactile experience, turning something else into something that wasn't before, just for the beauty of seeing what you come up with in the end. What a great experience for your
Well,
mind.
I have to tell you both, I already thought that you 2 were so exceptionally talented, but having this opportunity to hang out with you both, which I love doing regardless, and the fact that of course we caused so much trouble regardless, but to
Always.
see you 2 in action and just to see what you come up with, I get energized from it. I find it so motivating to work with people that are in this industry because they truly love it. It's all about giving back. We're doing it for such a great cause.
Absolutely.
But you are both exceptional in terms of not just as people, but in terms of talent.
Hashtag build up one another.